Sometimes you find people who inspire us to dream big. One Hamden man has the power to do that. From a young age, Marcus McCraven worked hard, struggled against the odds, and achieved so much. Now, a new documentary chronicles this Hamden's man's life and accomplishments. Joining us is Carlton Highsmith, collaborator on the film, and Marcus McCraven, of course, the subject of the film itself. No Barriers Too High. It's great to have you both here.
Thank you. Good to be here so much.
Mr. McCraven, early on in life, you had to deal with discrimination, segregation, but ultimately you become a key member of the team that developed the hydrogen bomb, the only African-American engineer on that team. How did that happen?
Well, first of all, I got out of college with a degree in electrical engineering, and I couldn't find a job. And I was eventually given a job at the Naval Research Laboratory in Washington, D.C. as an electronic technician.
Not as an engineer?
Not as an engineer, but as a technician. I worked on that job for about 6 months on a project with a couple of other engineers. And I got a lot of help from one in particular. And he came to me and said, you know, I'm impressed with the work you're doing. I don't think you should be a technician. And he recommended that I be given a title, engineering title. And so immediately I was promoted to the title electrical engineer, and I was made project leader. And that's how I got started in engineering.
And you couldn't have done it without these people helping you throughout.
No, I got a lot of help.
You did.
And the project that I was put on was one to develop a detector, one that would detect gamma rays that are emitted from a nuclear explosion. The Naval Research did quite a bit of work. In fact, they did most of the diagnostic work for the atomic program early on, and had quite a bit of success and we developed that detector, and it was accepted to be used, and we were asked to build 10 units. We built the 10 units, and I was the project leader, so I was told to ask to deliver these units to the West Coast. We were in Washington, D.C. It was so highly secretive until I had 3 sets of pilots to transport these 10 units
exactly.
to the West Coast.
Well,
and that's my beginning.
An important part of American history. Carlton,
Flying Tigers, I can remember.
Flying Tigers.
Flying Tigers. No 2 pilots could know where I was going, so they had 3 sets of pilots.
I can imagine. Let's talk about the film itself. What prompted the production of this?
Well, certainly, I've known Marcus for a very long time, and I knew tidbits of his story and felt that it was a significant enough story, an important enough story, intriguing enough story that it should be told. And so I thought about always doing it, and I happened to meet Tim Malloy, who is a former news anchor from New York, PX, Channel 11, also Palm Beach, Channel 5 there. He's an Emmy award-winning journalist. I met him, who was about to come work at Quinnipiac University on the staff there, and talked to Tim about the project, and he became really excited about it and said if he were to come to work at Quinnipiac that I should come and have lunch with him, and we talked more about it. We did. And he got extremely excited about it, and that's how it all started.
Well, this is certainly a labor of love. But we have a little clip of the film right now. Let's take a look.
Oh, wonderful.
Between 1946 and 1958, 23 nuclear bombs were detonated in the American desert and in the islands of the Pacific. On this day, near the Bikini Atoll, a talented team with top-secret clearances from the Lawrence Livermore Lab in California witnessed the terrible power of a blast that vaporized 70 acres.
The countdown is about to start, and over the loudspeaker, you hear the words.
5,
put on goggles or turn away. Do not look at Fireball. Then the countdown will start. 10, 9.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I was part of the firing team. I did arming. One of the last things that was done with the device was what I did.
For a young electrical engineer from the Midwest by way of Howard University, it was a stirring learning moment that propelled a career as a community leader and educator.
Powerful images there. It gave me goosebumps. What message are you trying to communicate to all of us watching this?
I think for me, clearly one of education, the value of getting a great education. I think perseverance, having a goal, striving for excellence. I think as well humility. I mean, knowing Marcus for as long as I have, one of the most fellows who with the greatest amount of humility that you can imagine, who obviously went through some incredible challenges to accomplish what he did in the 40s and 50s, but yet he stayed focused and persevered. So I think perseverance, humility, working hard, and striving for excellence, the kinds of things that I hope young students take away from the film.
Mr. McCraven, your message to the
My
next
message
generation.
is you need to get the education. As hard as it might have been for me to get the job, had I not had a college degree and a degree in electrical engineering, I certainly wouldn't have been able to get the job and do the job. So you get the education, that's number one. Stay in school. That's the message I would.
And don't let anybody say you can't do something.
Don't let anybody say you can't do it.
That's right. And you also said you couldn't have done this without the help of so many.
A lot of people along the way gave me help. I certainly appreciate that, and I think about it all the time.
It's amazing.
So I want to be able to give others help.
Absolutely. Amazing life. Thank you for sharing it with us. And Carlton, thank you for putting this film. Again, the film is No Barriers Too High, and you will be able to watch it right here on MyTV9 on Saturday, February 5th at 2:30 p.m. Again, we're calling it a profile of a local pioneer, the life and legacy of Marcus McCraven. Wonderful to have you here. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much.